In 1942, Hitler controlled most of Europe. Millions believed his empire could never be defeated. Yet only 3 years later, Berlin lay in ruins. So, what went wrong?
To understand why Hitler lost the war, we first need to understand why he seemed unstoppable. When World War II began in 1939, Germany shocked the world. Instead of fighting slow, traditional battles, the German military introduced a strategy that changed modern warfare. It became known as Blitzkrieg, or lightning war. Rather than attacking one position at a time, Germany combined tanks, aircraft and fast-moving infantry into one coordinated assault. The objective was simple: strike fast, break enemy defenses, and never give them time to recover. The strategy worked with devastating effectiveness. Poland fell within weeks. Then came Denmark, Norway, Belgium, the Netherlands, and in 1940, even France, one of Europe's strongest military powers, collapsed in just over a month. Across Europe, many believed Germany had become unstoppable. Military analysts were stunned. Governments began to fear that Britain might be next. By 1942, Nazi Germany controlled or occupied vast areas of Europe. Its industry expanded rapidly, resources flowed from occupied territories, and millions of soldiers stood ready across the continent. From the outside, the Third Reich appeared stronger than ever. But history often hides its greatest dangers behind its greatest victories. Because while Germany celebrated success, a series of decisions had already begun that would slowly destroy everything Hitler had built. Those mistakes would not appear overnight. They would unfold, one decision at a time. And the first would become one of the most costly military decisions in modern history. The turning point came in June 1941. Despite controlling much of Europe, Hitler made a decision that would change the course of history. He launched Operation Barbarossa, the largest military invasion ever attempted. More than 3 million German soldiers crossed into the Soviet Union. Thousands of tanks rolled across the border. Aircraft filled the skies. At first, the invasion appeared unstoppable. German forces captured enormous territories. Entire Soviet armies were surrounded. Millions of prisoners were taken. Many believed the Soviet Union would collapse within months. But Hitler had made a fatal mistake. He underestimated both the size of the Soviet Union and the determination of its people. As German troops pushed deeper into enemy territory, supply lines became longer. Fuel became scarce. Food became harder to deliver. Vehicles began to break down. Then winter arrived. Temperatures dropped far below freezing. Many German soldiers had not been equipped for such extreme conditions. Engines froze, weapons malfunctioned, thousands suffered from frostbite. The advance that had once seemed unstoppable slowly came to a halt. Then came Stalingrad, one of the bloodiest battles in human history. Street by street, building by building. The fighting continued for months. Neither side was willing to surrender. Eventually, German forces became surrounded, supplies ran out, escape became impossible. In early 1943, more than 90,000 German soldiers surrendered. It was a devastating defeat, not only for the German army, but for Hitler's reputation. From that moment, the war began to shift. While Germany struggled in the east, the Allies grew stronger. Factories in the United States produced enormous numbers of aircraft, tanks, ships, and ammunition. Britain continued its resistance. The Soviet Union pushed westward. Together, the Allied powers began reclaiming occupied Europe. Germany now faced a war on multiple fronts. Its resources became stretched beyond their limits. Bombing campaigns destroyed factories, railways, bridges, oil production. Every month, Germany lost more equipment than it could replace, yet Hitler refused to change course. Many military commanders advised strategic withdrawals. Others suggested protecting Germany's remaining forces. Hitler rejected many of those recommendations. Instead, he demanded that cities be defended at all costs, even when defeat had become inevitable. Those decisions cost countless lives. By April 1945, Soviet forces had reached Berlin. The city lay in ruins. Buildings burned across the skyline, food was scarce, communication had collapsed, the government itself was falling apart. Within days, the Third Reich came to an end. The empire that had once appeared invincible had collapsed completely. History reminds us that military power alone can never guarantee victory. overconfidence, poor strategic decisions, ignoring reality, and refusing to adapt, have brought down powerful leaders throughout history. The fall of the Third Reich was not caused by a single battle, or a single mistake. It was the result of many decisions, each one making the next disaster more difficult to avoid. Perhaps that is history's greatest lesson. Empires rarely collapse in a single moment. They collapse, one decision at a time. And that lesson remains just as relevant today as it was in 1945.